I thought my emotions meant that I didn't have enough faith. Welcome back to my series, Things I Wish I Had Known When I Was in Pain. And this one is number 2. I thought that I didn't have enough faith because of the emotions that I was experiencing. And to give a little bit of context, at the time, I had this belief that if God were to lead me into a relationship, there wouldn't be any pain. Not like my last relationship that I had been in. And so when I was in a relationship that I felt strongly God had led me into, and there was a lot of pain that came up, both from my past experiences, emphasizing also the current things that were happening, my framework broke. And my usual coping skills of trying to spiritualize through my pain, trying to logic through my pain, they weren't working for me like they were before. And I felt shame about this. I just felt shame that I couldn't hold on to the belief that like God could heal, that God could restore, that God wouldn't lead me any place that wasn't safe. Like I couldn't hold on to those enough to like actually have peace through such waiting and such pain. And I think over time I realized actually I don't think that's what God was ever really feeling or thinking toward me. I don't think that's what his heart was actually toward me. Because this is a God who actually knows my story, and he knows what was happening even if I didn't at the time. And it's also a God who led me to resources to help me learn my story and understand what was going on in a way that was more knowledgeable about my emotions and how that part of how I was created works. My brain, my nervous system, my body, my emotions, they all work to protect me, but sometimes, it can be complicated, and that was just a whole part of how of me as a human that I didn't know about. I didn't know about my emotions. I didn't know about how I was wired, and I didn't know how my story was impacting me fully. And so God led me to resources that helped me realize those things and helped me realize that I think that God is a God who really has compassion on us when our frameworks break and we don't know how to go about a situation, especially emotionally. And he's a God of all context, and one who gave me more context to be able to expand my framework and build a new one when it had broken, and one that brought me more hope and healing ultimately.